I might be too strung out on compliments.
Welcome to Kitchen Talk with Chef DeeDee. I am joined today by Chef Jeff and Chef Janelle.
Hey everyone.
Now let me tell you, I am very blessed and privileged. I never say lucky because everything that happens to me, every door that's open, of course I give all praises to God. So I am definitely blessed to have these two a part of the Cooking with a Twist team. Okay? They are chef instructors, and both of them have actually done a cooking class without me. By themselves. I have to do that whenever I bring in an instructor. You wouldn't be in front of a cooking class without my trust. I trust you with my customers, and you know what? After their cooking classes, they had rave reviews, so I was very happy about that. So a little bit about me and the podcast. I'm Chef DeeDee Coleman. I am an award-winning chef. I say that because you have to let people know, the things that you went through to get where you are. So whenever you get there, holler it, scream it to the world. Don't be, afraid to say you're an award-winning chef or, any accolade that you have, because guess what? You did it. That's something that is a part of your chef life, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to and we're going to go ladies first.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Chef Janelle and Chef Jeff introduce themselves and just kind of tell me a little bit, not a whole bunch, because I have some questions for you. So introduce yourself and tell me just a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, Chef Janelle here. Happy to be on the team with Cooking with a Twist. Just a little background about myself. I am a Texan, born and raised, and I've been in Houston for about 15 years now, so I feel like a Houstonian. I am a celebrity chef. I do a lot of private cooking classes. I do private chefing, but I've also been an executive chef in the city of Houston for about 12 years now. So I have the private sector and I have the professional kitchen. So I feel like I have the best of both worlds.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing.
I think so.
Especially when in your career, in your chef life career, which is again what we're going to be talking about today. So Chef Jeff,
how y'all doing?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
First off, I am Chef Jeff. You see it. For the most of it, I'm a chef out of Houston. I've been pursuing my culinary background for about 15 years. I've been cooking since at least 10 years old. I grew up in the kitchen under my mom and my dad, so I always been in charge of the kitchen, the sous chef since a little guy. So me actually getting in a position to where my talents I figured out, hey, I love to do this and I can get paid from it. So, I took my passion and, it landed me in the seat I'm in today. So there you have it.
All right, awesome. Well, I have tasted Chef Jeff's food. It was so funny because he came in for an interview for the instructor position, and when he came in, and it was just like, what is all this? He had all this food, right? And me and food, I'm gonna eat it, especially if it looks good. And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. So we're definitely gonna have to get that on the menu for Cooking with a Twist. So, all right, Chef Janelle, that means you gotta fix me something to eat.
Will do, not a problem.
So, my first question is, tell me about your life as a chef. And I'll start. My life as a chef has been, I can say a whole bunch of stuff. I could use a whole bunch of adjectives to describe my life as a chef. I have had ups, I have had downs, especially with the balance part of it. So I worked in corporate America for about 12 years. I moved to Houston in 2001, and worked for a hotel, and I was doing like both. I would go to front desk, then I would work in the banquets in the kitchen, because I had this guy in there who loved to cook, and I would tell him, look, I can cook, like, let me do some of this. And I really learned a lot from him. And I just got the itch. So my boss, her son was getting married, and I said, you know, I cater, right? And she was like, no. And she's like, would you cater his wedding? I said, I sure would. Now listen, I'm living in a 2-bedroom apartment with no commercial kitchen. So she was like, I don't care. And so, you know, we went shopping for everything, and I literally just cooked in her kitchen for the wedding. And everybody loved the food. So I'm a single parent, so I really didn't have the support that you have to have a lot of support when you're cooking, especially when you're catering, because that's a lot of work. So I kind of let it go a little bit, and then I met my husband. I started going to this big church, and I met my husband, and I told him I wanted to cater. And he was like, you know, these are all his church people. He had been at the church years before I came, so he was just a little scared. So I sent the pastor an email, and I was like, look, do you know I'm a professional caterer? And that's how it all got started. I started to cater for the church. And I did a lot of free stuff. A lot of free stuff, a lot of stuff where they would just give me a $200 check, and it was probably about 75 people. But I had to do that to kind of get my name out there, to let people know, look, this is what I can do. And I started joining all these networking groups, and then these people start hiring me, and then their friends start hiring me, and that's when I started to cater for some of the elite in Houston, and God just kind of took it from there. And I did a lot of catering, a lot of personal chef services. I even attempted a Sunday brunch. That's when the Lord showed me that opening a restaurant of any kind, I don't care if I'm open one day, is not my calling. It is definitely not my calling. Came up with the Red Velvet Waffle Batter brand for that Sunday brunch. So the Red Velvet Waffle Batter was actually birthed out of trying to get a menu together for that Sunday brunch. So it wasn't all bad. You know, 30 days, we were packing up, moving out of that place. That failure really taught me a lot. So I really, you know, everyone goes through a little failure sometimes, you know. So it taught me a lot. I actually was going to start cooking classes in that location, and it was called Simply Delicious Cooking Classes. But God said no, and I said okay. And I, you know, went back to work, and then I said, Lord, I can't do this. You know, it had gotten to the point where I was stealing these people's time. I was at work doing my personal work. And in 2012, I was able to leave corporate America for good. And now we're here. Wow. We're at Cooking with a Twist. And I'm looking forward to the growth that we have. So, since we started with Chef Janelle with our introduction, so Chef Jeff,
Chef with an S.
Oh, okay.
No. Dollar sign.
Okay, with a dollar sign,
Yeah.
making that money.
Chef with an
Okay.
S, a dollar sign, you know.
Okay, tell me about your life as a chef.
The ups and the downs, where you want to start?
I don't know. It's on you.
I mean, my life as a chef it's like this with me, you know. At this point of life, I found something that I could actually say when I walk out the door, I'm Chef Jeff. Like, that's me. It's not nobody else. So with me being a walking brand and I'm my own person, it's the best feeling to wake up and get paid for being who you are anyway.
Right.
So that was always my goal. So I've tried so many different things in life. Like, anybody that know me know I'm the master entrepreneur. Like, but at this point of life, finding that my skills can pay the bills, I definitely pursued the life in the culinary field because I found something that I was truly passionate about. And I looked at some of those chef salaries and then I was like, yeah, we on to something. And we talking something that I can hand down to my son, and you know, generations on down. You create a family cookbook that you can leave with somebody. So it's more than just the food, you know. It's more than just the money. It's really a bloodline. I come from. Both of my parents is from Louisiana. My mom is from Tallulah. My mom is from Bastrop, and my dad is from Tallulah. So I got deep Southern roots in me. I was born and raised in Las Vegas, so the culinary background out there in Vegas is 5-star cuisine. So mixing the Southern roots and my 5-star cuisine at a young age, I always, you know, had fun with food. Always, you know, played around with my food, making it into, you know, things it wasn't supposed to be.
Just
Getting in trouble, messing with the food. My mom like, you don't supposed to do that. You're supposed to do this.
Making up stuff
I'm like,
for your
I like to do
cook.
it. Yeah, I like to make it like this. So,
Yeah.
you know, I always was just a wingman in the kitchen for my mom or my dad.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I learned a lot of things, but it wasn't to the point to where at a stage in my life, I took a fall and I went to a federal institution, and with me going there, I had to work. And when I got the job, one of the officers told me, oh, you know how to cook? I'm like, yeah, I know how to cook. He's like, do you know how to cook? I'm like, I think I could cook.
And you know,
I
God
can
can,
cook. You cook.
and God can use your gift anywhere. You know,
Exactly.
it can be birthed anywhere.
Exactly.
And you're talking about, you know, making money. I mean, you just did a cooking class, a sold out class.
Yeah.
And it was a high paid class. And you were here, what, all of 5 hours?
Exactly.
And got a big paycheck for that class. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying?
There you go.
So it's like, exactly. So,
Exactly.
you know, your gift will make room for you.
Exactly.
And it was birthed from a place that you probably would have never
dark
known. A dark place.
But it had light
But
though.
it
Every time I
had
went to
light.
the kitchen, that's the catch.
Exactly.
Every time I went to that kitchen,
Exactly.
that was my light. So it became a thing to where, yeah, I was in a dark place, but at the same time, my light was waking up at 6 in the morning and going to that kitchen for those 6 to 8 hours, being free. You know, going into the kitchen and say, oh, this is a spot I'm familiar with. You know, I feel good here. This is my peace because, you know, I have this already installed into me. So to get to a spot to where I say every day, this is my routine. And I never seen myself just being a chef or working in the kitchen or working for anybody. But at the same time, once I took those instructions every day, and I'm feeding a crew of 150 people by myself, feeding officers, you know, and
they're loving their
exactly.
food.
I'm
And
feeding them in a system where we're supposed to be against each other,
Right.
but I still put my whole heart, mind. Anybody that I've ever fed, no, I gave it my all every
Right.
time.
And it's something about food. It brings people together.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you see that here during the cooking
Exactly.
classes. Like, people come in as strangers and they leave
Absolutely.
as friends.
Exactly.
And so I just think, you know what, when we sat down and you told me your story, I just really felt that connection. I felt like, you know what, this is God's way of saying, you know what, I'm taking this chef somewhere. He started here, now I need him to be, you know, here. I need him to share his gift with the people that come in here, and I want you to teach them how to cook. And they're gonna have fun doing it. And I can tell, even by the reviews, you're having a good time. You look good doing it. You're happy, and you're making the customers happy as well.
Exactly.
So, Chef Janelle, tell me about your life as a chef, and also include some of your accomplishments.
Okay.
I'm smelling these onions.
Me too.
I cannot wait to start
Me too.
cooking. But they're smelling good. But yes, tell me about your life as a chef.
Okay, you know, my journey as a chef came a little bit later in life, kind of. I am from a really small town. I'm from Coppers Cove, Texas. I'm sure maybe 5 people have ever heard of it. I was born on Fort Hood, so I grew up on a little military base. Growing up in a small military town, you know, my mom cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was the time to come in from your day, wash your hands, everyone sit down, no TV, no telephones, and, you know, just all kind of bond and come together over food. So, you know, growing up and being in Houston, I kind of just realized that, you know, food was a part of my daily routine. When I'm sick, I cook. When I'm happy, I cook. When I'm sad, I cook. When I'm in love, I cook. So, you know, I just kind of just realized that I really could, as Chef Jeff said, turn my passion into a career, which is a blessing every day. Like as long as you love what you do, it's never work. And being a chef specifically is a labor of love. I mean, it's not an easy job where you just come in, do what you got to do, and go home. I mean, it is physical, it's emotional, and it really can consume you. So, again, with ups and downs, like you said, through my career, changing careers at 25 and not being able to get a job, and people were like, well, what restaurant have you worked in? I'm like, nowhere. I'm in culinary school. I make straight A's. I graduated from U of H. I have a bachelor's. They're like, we don't care. You can't get. It's too expensive to train you. So, I was working for like $8 an hour with a bachelor's degree. Couldn't pay my bills. Just like miserable. I was in school working from 7 to 3, going to school from 5 to 10. And, at one point I was just like, I'm just going to go back to optometry school. I could be making, 7 figures right now as a doctor, but I just, kind of stuck with it and eventually got into a kitchen and in 1 year worked my way to sous chef. So, I just dug down, went full steam ahead and really committed to the career. Then after I graduated from culinary school, I got offered my first executive chef position. This was at 28, which is, really, really young in my opinion for an executive chef. But the owner of the restaurant was the director of operations where I was sous chef, and he's like, I've seen you work, I've seen you cook, I can teach you how to run a restaurant. Like, you've got it, you just need a couple of tools, a couple of systems, you'll be good to go. So I did that. I was so nervous, didn't want to fail. Being the executive chef is a lot of responsibility,
a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, and people are just waiting to see. You hope that people are waiting to see you succeed, but they're waiting to see you fail. They really want to be like, I knew you couldn't do it, but you have to work so hard to prove that that's not the case. Right. So I dug in, worked so hard there, worked for 3 years, day and night, never had a day off the first year. I was working 80, 90 hours a week.
That's chef life.
Chef life.
I mean, that's the life of a chef.
I miss my niece being born. I miss weddings. I miss graduations. I was fully committed to being the best chef that I could be. And after 3 years, just one day, the owner came in and was like, I can't afford to pay you. Today's your last day. Peace out. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, what am I going to do now? Like, I've been giving my blood, sweat, and tears here for 3 years, and just like that, it was over. So, of course, then another low. I'm like depressed. I don't know what to do. And, a couple of months go by, and I get a call from Fox for Hell's Kitchen. Like, Janelle, we heard you were in Houston. We're coming there to do auditions. Would you be interested? So I'm thinking, what do I have to lose? I don't have a job right now. I mean, I may as well. So auditioned, made the show, was cast, and eventually won, which was won season 11 of Hell's Kitchen. That was another, peak, not a coming out of a valley. It was a peak, and I say things happen to you for a reason, because if I hadn't been laid off from that job, I wouldn't have gone. I would have stayed committed to that restaurant. I never would have gone. So going there, coming back, winning, that gave me the opportunity to travel. I've seen a lot of the world. I've cooked in many countries, and then I came back and was doing charity work, and I really wanted to open my own restaurant. I thought I was ready to open my own restaurant, and after 2 years of looking and looking, I just couldn't find the real estate that I wanted, that would kind of mirror the concept that I had, and I just kind of got bummed out, like, this is what I want to do. Is it ever going to happen? Right. And because of the Hell's Kitchen and because of the recognition, I've been given so many other opportunities to start teaching children, volunteering, speaking. It's given me the opportunity to be a consultant for a lot of restaurants in Houston, in California, in New York. Again, traveling and kind of just doing it my way.
And that's the best part of it. I think that whenever you're able to use your gifts, your talents, especially as a chef, to first do what you love, especially if you have a passion for it, but doing all the fun things, traveling. Yes. I know that each year, and shout out to Dr. Roland and Dr. Jackie Hood Martin, who sponsor me every year to go out to Salamander Resort to cook for this banquet that raises money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and of course other charities that I cook for. And let me tell you a funny story. When you said Hell's Kitchen, so I actually, my daughter and I, we drove to New Orleans so I could try out for Food Network Star. And I was in there thinking, my attitude is really too bad to be on one of these shows. Like, I'm going to really give myself a bad reputation, because if somebody says something to me crazy, I'm a little crazy.
Yeah.
Like, my family, like my mom's side, not my dad's side. My dad's side is very smooth. He reminds me of my husband. It's like, but my mom's side, yeah, we're a little crazy. So,
Passionate.
Yeah, we're very passionate. And Clorinda McGrady came to me one year and she said, I need you to do this competition to raise money for the Ronald McDonald House. And I said, Clorinda, I don't do competitions. That's just something that I know I can't do, because I just don't have the attitude and the personality for that. And she was like, oh, you're gonna do it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And it was maybe, I think, 5 or 6 chefs. And I'm talking about chefs who own restaurants, chefs that have really, I don't want to say, well, let's just say they're very accomplished.
Right.
And it was four awards, and I won 3 out of 4 of those awards.
Wow.
And she was like, I told you you could do that. I told you could do that. And, when I look at all of the awards and things that I've accomplished over the years, it just really makes you feel good about what you're doing.
It's reassurance.
It is reassurance.
Yeah, like I'm on the right path.
And you even talked about, you wanting to open up a restaurant, and it just, wasn't happening. We all get like that.
Right.
We all get discouraged, because I do. It's like, okay, we've been so successful here at Cooking with a Twist that we have literally grown out of this studio, but we still make it work.
Right.
Because this is what God has afforded us, and He hasn't told me to move yet. And let me tell you, I have moved without God before, and it did not work out. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to make that same mistake. So it's, we're going to be faithful here. Definitely want to expand franchise. We've definitely taken measures to do that. But what I have learned is, no matter how much you want it,
right,
until God says or deems fit for it to happen,
it's time, right,
it's not going to happen. So you just have to trust the process. You have to trust that you're still in that preparation mode. You're not there yet. You're in position all the time, but you're just not there yet. So I have another question, because I was just talking about new locations. And so tell me a little bit, Chef Jeff, about your future goals. Like, one of my goals, and this is going to be funny to you, but one of my goals is, when I do open other locations, that, I'm putting you right there. Like, Chef Jeff, I need you to run this place. Like, I need you to be the executive chef at this location of Cooking with a Twist. See, I'm speaking it.
There you go.
Understand? I'm speaking it, and I'm putting it into existence from my mouth to God's ears. But anyway, I know that's me. But what about you?
Well, I mean, what better future goals in money goes, business,
wherever. Hey, you say, doesn't sound too bad, right?
Contract together.
Doesn't sound too bad.
But for the most of it, right now, I currently specialize in my meal preps.
Right.
So I offer a meal prep service throughout Houston. My future goals is to expand my meal prep service, get more into the fitness end, maybe get a personal trainer on my team, and, get the all-around package for everybody who's looking to hit those either health
and
goals,
that's a good thing for
goals.
you. Let me tell you why, and this is funny too. So when I posted your picture on Facebook, you were actually doing a class. You got a lot of good reviews, and I'm saying reviews like a lot of people are like, oh, he's cute. So let me tell you. So I met his girlfriend, y'all. He has a girlfriend.
That's
so
right.
Whatever. But I'm just saying, the first person that actually said something, y'all, of all people, was my mother. She was like, forget cooking. He looks good on the eye. I was like, really, mother? So
not your
you
mom.
have to, it was your mom. It was my mother. Yes. So you have to do what's best for you. It's funny how people have a weight loss brand, but their body doesn't,
It doesn't reflect.
Yeah.
Reflect for
so,
sure.
like, you are your brand.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? You are your brand.
That's the catch.
So, yes, and people
I
have
am
to
my
realize
brand.
you are your
I am
brand.
Chef
so
Jeff.
that's good.
I come as I am because
come as you
everybody
are.
say all the time, "Oh, you a chef?" First off, I'm young. That's really in this game right here. That's really the biggest thing. Your age is like
It's an advantage.
Oh no.
You don't think so?
No.
They don't think I'm seasoned enough.
No.
So
Oh,
that's what makes me
you
go
know what?
harder.
So I was thinking an advantage that you have time to really grow.
No.
It's harder.
But I definitely get where you're coming from.
They automatically like, oh, you can't cook better
But
than
you
my
have
mama.
to prove yourself.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I get that in
you
here.
know, and it's like, all
I get that
right,
in
well, go get your mama.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Take this to her. You'll never taste it.
So I definitely get that in here. I think that I've proven myself, but I'll still have someone that comes in here and thinks that they can, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And you probably can. I'm not, discounting that, but this is my brand, and I want everyone to, of course, be creative when you go home and cook these meals. But for now, in this cooking class, I need you to follow my instructions.
Yes.
So definitely, believe me, definitely get that. What about you, Chef Janelle?
I would still say that my goal. I'm gonna go with two goals here.
Okay.
So one, I would
And
still
the same with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Same with you. I'm just, again, putting it out there.
I would still like to have my own restaurant. I have developed and created a concept based on my career, my kind of my timeline, and my growth as a chef. And like you, I'm always underestimated. I'm 5'5". I'm not young anymore, but I was when I started. But
Girl, you are
I'm not loud. I don't bark. I'm not, but I'm not intense, but I'm intense in the kitchen. Like, Janelle is very different from Chef Janelle. Like, Chef Janelle does not take any, I'm not gonna cuss, which I do all the time, but I'm here, I know what I'm doing. If I'm in charge, you're gonna do it my way. If you think you can do it better, you need to take that someplace else. I've paid my dues, I've put my head down, I've learned. I continue to learn even though I have a lot of experience, but I know what I'm doing, and I'm constantly tested. I mean, people ask what I do. I say I'm a chef, and they're like, a chef? And I'm like, a chef, like an executive
Like a real
chef. Like, I will cook
chef,
circles around you. Like, I try to remain humble because I feel like when
But sometimes
when
you
can't. Like,
because let me tell you,
people push
there are certain people in this industry in Houston who are chefs and females who
Yes.
don't think you're good enough.
Right.
You know who you are.
Yes, you know who you are.
Yes.
I know who you are. But
Yes.
and guess what? I've cooked circles around them.
Yes.
Beat them in competitions.
Yeah.
That I don't do.
Yeah.
But I'm very confident in what I do. I'm very confident in the things that I cook.
For sure. You have to be. And even the contestants on Hell's Kitchen, they told me at the end, because you're all in sequester until everyone is eliminated. They told me, like, people pull me to the side, like, I really thought you were just here to be like the cute girl in the kitchen, or you were just here to be like the angry black woman on the cast. But they were like, episode 2, I knew you were gonna win. Like, just by the way that you speak, by the way that you handle yourself in the kitchen, by your techniques, the way that you teach and share knowledge. Like, I just knew you had what it
more
took.
confidence in me.
Yes,
basically.
And I like to take that with me, and I like I said, I never stop learning. So I like to always teach. I'm always teaching. It's my favorite thing to do.
So that's why I'm so happy to have you a part of Cooking with a Twist. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, because we have 3 great chefs sitting here, and I used to write for a magazine, and one of the things that I wrote about was self-trained chefs versus culinary trained.
Right.
And understand that I have had culinary trained chefs. Now, you always, in hindsight, you think, if I hadn't known then what I know now,
For sure.
I would have definitely not wasted all of that, grant money from my dad's military in college, and I would have just went straight to culinary school and got the techniques, whatever. But I did not. So I am a self-trained chef. But I've had self-trained chefs culinary trained chefs work for me.
Right.
And I'm like, So I feel like it's a good experience, but unless you have that gift, then you can be culinary trained all you want to. I really wish I had have gone to culinary school, but that wasn't the path that God took me down.
Right.
And so it's like, oh well, you didn't go to culinary school and you just got these, what do you call it, these Vistaprint
Cards.
calling yourself chef.
Right.
And I'm thinking, you know what? How about that?
Right. Right.
So it's just the respect. If you don't respect me,
yes,
then guess what?
Yes.
I don't care.
Yes.
Because I know what I built.
Yes.
And I'm going to continue to build. So what we're going to do is, and we'll talk more. Let's get up and we're going to move our chairs.
Okay.
Let's just move them over here, and we're going to start cooking. So this is the fun part. Let's just move these over here. Thank you. And we're going to come behind the table right here. All right. So now, the reason why we're cooking during this podcast is because this is something that's holding me accountable, okay? I have been writing a cookbook for 3 years, okay? 3 years. Is that not sad? And I have not completed it yet. I have not. So everything that we cook during the podcast every week will be included in my cookbook, okay? So I'm going to put this olive oil in here because I actually want it to heat up. I want it to heat up so we can kind of sear this chicken. Today what we're going to do is we're going to cook a Cajun chicken, and I've actually already, thank you, I've already put the Cajun seasoning on there. We just used a little blackened seasoning. You can use blackened seasoning, you can use Cajun seasoning. Thank you. I'm going to take this wrap off of here. And you know what? Let's put some olive oil in here too, because we're going to do our veggies in here. One thing that I wanted to do with this dish, but I didn't do it, but was cook some shrimp to put on top of it. But we're going to do the chicken. Okay. Let's see. All right. Thank you. Got it.
So is this recipe testing or this recipe is approved for the
This
cookbook?
is approved. I have cooked this
Already ready.
so many times, but the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little granulated garlic. Oh, there it goes. I'm like, can you open that? Add a little garlic on here. Okay. All right. One thing about Cajun seasoning, just don't inhale it.
Open the windows, open the door.
Windows, turn on some ventilation, something. Just do not inhale it because you'll be coughing. I remember I was doing a live video for, I think it was Fox 26, and I was doing something with some Cajun seasoning. I don't know if it was chicken or salmon or something, but I'm live, y'all.
Right.
And I started inhaling this, and when I tell you I'm trying not to cough, but of course when you cough, you can't help it.
Yes.
It's gonna come. So.
And if you try to hold it in, it's like a sneeze. It's worse.
It's even worse.
It's
So
worse.
I'm definitely not, would never hold that in. So let me go ahead and put this in.
But any of those seasonings, Cajun, blackened, jerk, anything that has that cayenne or any kind of pepper,
Right.
it's going to give you that reaction. It's just
Right.
that capsaicin that breaks into the air and
Right.
you sneeze, you cough, even regular black pepper.
Oh, especially regular
Yes,
black
anything
pepper.
like that is going to get in those sinuses and that's it.
So what I have here, as this chicken cooks, I have some red bell pepper, some mushroom, and some onion. And I'm going to add that in.
There we go.
All right. Up there.
That sizzle is the sound you always want to hear in chicken.
Always want to hear that. I'm just going to add just a little salt. All right. I'm not going to do any pepper because we have that Cajun seasoning in there. And so, while this is
Man, I love the way
cooking,
vegetables smell.
me too.
Just garlic and onions.
I can eat that by itself.
For sure.
I can. Yeah, I can too. You can eat it just by itself. All right. So, and let that cook. Now,
Oh yeah, that is.
let me ask you this. At this point in your career, and let's start with you, Chef Janelle.
Okay.
When would you work for free?
Okay, when would I work for? Can we clarify working for free? Is that like?
Okay, so let me clarify. So the only, like I just started a foundation called the Cooking with a Twist Future Foodies Foundation.
Okay.
And what that foundation does is it offers 100% sponsors birthday parties, kids' birthday parties for kids that are in homeless shelters, kids that are in the adoptive system, that are
Right.
for adoption,
Right.
and kids that are in the foster care system.
Okay.
So the first time I had a class in here of the kids that were cooking, it wasn't a birthday party, it was just a cooking class that I sponsored. And when I heard this little girl say, "This is amazing, I've never done this before. I've never had anybody to cook with like this." You know, some of her friends at school, of course, always talk about baking cookies and brownies with their mom, and they don't have that same pleasure. They don't,
Right.
they don't have that advantage.
Right.
Because they're living in a home.
Yeah.
So that's one example. Another example is some of the, or maybe if my client, somebody who has been working with me a lot, if they have something that I feel like, you know, they need me to do for them and it's not like all crazy, then I'll help them.
Right.
You know. So I guess, you know, something like that.
So for example one, anytime it's for charity or to benefit the community, I'm always willing to provide my services at no charge,
Right.
as long as the product is being provided and not, you know, coming out of my pocket. Like I do, every year I do a culinary camp in New York for a summer camp for children who are, you know, from underprivileged families from different countries,
Right.
you know, Haiti, Costa Rica. They all come to New York for this youth fellowship, and they learn there's 30 different academies, and culinary is one of them. And you know, it's just that gives children the opportunity to know that there are other options and other career opportunities besides doctor, lawyer. You know, the
Because
basics.
it's a life skill that,
yes.
that kids, I feel like, need to learn.
They do need to learn, and when you come from a position where maybe you're in a single parent home or both of your parents work and there's no one there to cook for you,
Right.
it's, you know, being able to teach them how to take care of themselves. For me, it's payment enough. So I do that. This will be my 5th year this summer doing it, and you know, I had a similar experience. A student came up to me, 11 years old, and told me, "I'm so happy that you are teaching me how to cook. You know, I go and work with my dad. We work from like 10 to 10 all day, and now I can save my money and buy these ingredients and cook for my family." And
Isn't that
like
the best
I
feeling?
broke down in tears, and I'm not a crier, but I broke down. I'm like, that is the sweetest thing I've ever heard. So, you know, I'm all about charity. I love doing that. The other way that I would cook for free is I like to call in trade.
Oh,
So I will provide my services, you provide your services. You know, that way
I
we'll
don't know why
both
people
benefit.
don't do that more often.
think
It's
it's
like they just
better.
really want you to do something, and it's like, okay, but you
Yeah.
have something that
Exactly.
might benefit me. Let's talk about
Exactly.
it.
Like you think outside the box. It doesn't have to be monetary. It can be, you know, you have a venue that I can use, or you provide the marketing, or you know, there's just so many different things that it doesn't have to be money. But I would say those are probably the 2 instances that I would cook for free.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so before you answer that question, let's get this chicken in the oven. Can you turn that oven on for me? The top one is 5. I'm going to use this to put the chicken on. You can go all the way to 450. So we're going to, right now, we just pan-seared our chicken. It's a blackened chicken with a little granulated garlic on there. And we pan-seared that. And as soon as Chef Jeff gets that on, 450, right?
You want the turbo, please? You want the turbo on it?
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
You want to throw on the sneaky yet?
I'm not. I'm actually doing good. It's smoking it up in here. All right. So we're going to take that out. Take that out.
That good color.
That good color.
Color equals flavor.
Yeah, it does. I'm just going to put a little bit in here because I'm going to add them. And then, Chef Jeff, if you want to go ahead and stick this in the oven for me, that would be perfect. going to transfer this over here with all that flavor.
Oh, yeah.
All that flavor.
That's the best part of it. Right?
Yeah.
Get all that seasoning.
All that flavor in there.
All the bits on the bottom of the pan.
Oh yeah, you got it right.
All right, and then I'm just gonna add the spinach in here. Of course, you know it doesn't take much. You know what? Before I add the spinach, let's just add these little cherry
Get
tomatoes.
a nice little roast to those.
Get a roast of those, and then we'll add our spinach because it doesn't take much for both of these to actually cook while that chicken is cooking in the oven.
So do you pound out your chicken, or do you slice it thin, or?
So, because Cooking with a Twist, we buy it already, we buy it by the ounce.
Okay.
So I don't have to. Now, if I'm doing it at home, then I do, if it's like, sometimes I like to buy the chicken already thin, but if I buy the thick, I'm going to slice it in half. If I do not, then I'm going to brine it.
Right.
Because my husband likes, you know, whenever you go to a restaurant and you're like, how did they get this chicken so juicy?
Secret.
I remember you saying you did something with a buttermilk
Oh,
chicken
yes.
or something. You
Oh, my
soaked it in
goodness.
buttermilk, didn't
Yes.
you?
So, you know, buttermilk does two things. It's going to like brine the chicken, it'll absorb that moisture, but also the acid from the buttermilk tenderizes the meat. And you know, when you're roasting a whole chicken, the breast cooks before the legs, and that's how the white meat is dry and nobody ever wants it.
Right.
But you know, if you soak it properly and kind of infuse it with additional fluids, then you don't have that problem. But it was the most beautiful chicken I've done in a while, and I roast chicken a lot.
And you can also use the buttermilk method on barbecuing also to get
Really?
your chicken tender. You can do that before you put it on the grill. The same way, season your chicken, make your marinade in buttermilk, and take that, let that soak in. Once you let that settle in for about an hour, you can take it and put it on the grill, and that'll tenderize your chicken on the grill.
It gives it a good color too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like that buttermilk, it really caramelizes it. It's nice and brown.
Caramelized crispiness.
Oh yeah, we use buttermilk for our Southern class. You know, you did that. We use it for our chicken and our catfish.
Okay.
So notice I didn't put any salt on the spinach
Right.
because we have enough
Natural
on the
salt.
chicken, and we have enough for our sauteed onion and bell pepper and mushroom. I don't want to over season. That's it right there. All right. So let's see. Chef Jeff, did I ask you about working for free?
Oh no, you are right. You don't have to ask me about that.
But you know what? You did something for me.
Okay.
No, he did something for me last weekend because I attended a retreat, and I was supposed to go to church. There was a church that needed me to judge a contest.
Yeah.
And you sent me a picture of all of this food and the barbecue, and I'm like, thank you, because I do not miss those calories. Like, so how was that? Like, and it wasn't a paid event.
So, I mean, stuff like that, like she said, it was for the church, it's for the community. And also, she put me in a position to show my face to the community, to show that I actually exist. So, in exchange, it wasn't free, because at the end of the day, I still got something out of it, and she got something out of it. I represented the Cooking with a Twist brand, which got us more people in tuned into the brand, more people inquired about it. Every time I stepped around with my shirt on, everybody was like, what is this Cooking with a Twist? So, you know, things like that. So it's technically not free because it's actually promotion for the brand, and you're giving back to the community. And but for the most of it at this point of my career, honestly, all right, so we're gonna put this on record one time. I will forever cook for the streets. I'm the street chef. That's the reason this S is right here. Chef Jeff, the street chef, all right? So that means if you're sleeping under a bridge, if you're sleeping on the side of the road, if you're a family that just got affected by anything, you know, that you can't come back from, call me up. If you need a meal, if you're hungry and you ain't got a meal, call me up. Hit me up on Instagram, and you need that, I got that, because that's my duty to y'all.
Right.
That's the reason I started my Let's Eat Foundation, which is just for the streets. Let's eat. Everybody got to eat, you know. So as far as that, that's unlimited. But when it comes to a lot of these brands reaching out to me saying they can do this and for me, and they want me to come to this event, it's gonna make my name into this name. Hey, Chef Jeff is not looking for any handouts. So at the end of the day,
exposure that you probably already have.
I'm working hard for myself. I'm working hard for my brand. I brand with people that I choose to brand with. I reach out to the people that I want to brand with. So if you get that DM or you get that phone call, I want to be with you. If you don't got that, hey, we shouldn't even talk about anything for free. Straight invoice talk.
I know.
And that's just gonna be that.
You said the word. Okay, so we're going to. I'm gonna have another question, but let's get the salad over here. Yeah, we can put that underneath there. Yeah, I'm gonna get us some. Let's get those salad plates.
Okay.
Put that up there. And that clean tongue right there. Clean tongue. And all of those ingredients.
Okay.
Get those steps in.
There you go. Get them all in. There you go. Let's get a spoon right here. This is fine. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, so what we have here, we just have some spring mix. You can see just spring mix. And you can use romaine, but I kind of like to think outside of the box. You know, everything's a little, because this is a homemade Caesar dressing. This recipe will be in my cookbook as well. I don't want to overwhelm the salad. Homemade from scratch. It did not come from.
You got a plastic spoon over there?
Sure.
Let me see.
Oh yeah.
Let me see what this is about.
You're about to taste it on this salad.
Let me see. She's
You're
talking
about to
homemade.
taste it.
Let's
This
see,
is
agreed.
homemade.
Let's see.
What you think?
That's homemade.
It is.
That's homemade.
That's most definitely homemade.
That garlic.
Oh
Hey.
yeah.
Yeah.
It has
You
plenty.
taste the Parmesan in there. Is
Oh,
Parmesan
yeah.
and
We're
blue
not-
cheese?
We got no blue cheese.
No blue cheese?
No blue cheese.
That's that chunky garlic.
That's that
Something
chunk of the
super
garlic.
chunky.
It's
All right.
garlic.
Okay. So we're gonna toss that and let y'all put this on here, and then we're gonna dress it a little bit. Okay.
That's good though. You put fresh garlic in there. That's a good thing that she put that in there, because that's what stands out the most. That fresh garlic taste. That spice.
Yes. So we're gonna stick that under there.
Do you do anchovies or no anchovies in your
Anchovies,
Caesar?
we do.
Gotta have anchovies.
Gotta have that
Gotta
anchovy
have it.
paste.
I always ask.
We do.
People are afraid of them, but they are delicious.
Yeah. So we're gonna add a little.
Anchovy.
Anchovy and
Parmesan
garlic a
cheese.
must.
Okay, chef. Okay, chef.
And
I see
then-
you, chef.
We're gonna add some mango
Okay, so this I've never seen. What made you add mango to this?
because of the flavor. It's
Yes?
gonna give you. So let me tell you, I either two things. I'm either adding the mango or sun-dried tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay. So I love the sun-dried tomatoes and I love the mango. Okay. So let's get your fork from over here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here you go. So go ahead and try that. Let me know what you think.
When we tried the dressing, we know that's a win.
Yeah. So you gotta try it with the mango.
With the mango.
With the
I
mango
never ate a mango on my
on
salad.
your salad.
But
I can't even get it on my fork. How about this? And put the mango in my mouth. So I was never a fruit in my salad type of person. But we also do a Dublin strawberry and spinach salad here with blue cheese.
man,
So
The mango gives you a different texture, like in the bite, and then it gives you just like a burst of sweetness that you're not used to in a Caesar salad. So this would be great, like with a Jamaican meal, like something to start off with. Just different.
With some jerk chicken or
With
something?
some jerk chicken or this blackened chicken that we're gonna eat.
Yeah.
And that mango has that tanginess to it too. So you get that little sour kick. And
Yes.
I never really tasted that with a salad. That's pretty good.
So this is very, again, homemade Caesar salad. I just tossed the spring mix, and you can use romaine. I love romaine. It's hard to get my family to eat it. That's why I started doing spring mix, because of the hearts. They don't like it. So. But yes, we do use anchovy paste in the Caesar salad.
Spring mix is a little more tender than romaine, and I like it because of the color. I feel like the more colors on your plate, the more vitamins you're getting.
Right.
So that's a bonus too.
It is a bonus. Okay. So we're going to check on that chicken. Let's put that over there. I'm going to stick this here. Here, I'll come over here and check on it. Yes, Deja. Run and get a oven mitt.
That was good.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to put those big plates on the table for me.
I don't know what they was doing, but that little salad's still right there.
You know, we've learned at Cooking with a Twist, don't eat all the first course.
Right.
There's a lot of food coming.
Okay, I'm going to come over here. No, you're fine. Okay, that's fine. You can't start it over?
Hello, chicken. Now what we got here. The best part.
The meat.
Best part about being a chef, you know, you taste so much until you're so full. Like Chef DeeDee sent me to this bake-off, 13 cakes, 7 pies. Then
pies.
scheduled me to come work 3 hours after.
I did.
You needed a nap
I
first,
never
or
ate
you were
so
good to
many
go?
pieces of cake that I didn't even want to eat food. I was just like, I felt like a little kid again. Like, I ate so much cake, I don't even want to eat this plate. I took a plate home and ate it that night because I couldn't do it. I mean, and I was almost, right, the cake I picked got second place. The one I slept on, because I got to the 7th cake. Sorry, cake number 7 too. Cake number 7 that won at the Lily Grove Church cook-off.
Yes.
Sorry I slept on y'all. That carrot cake was great with the walnuts. So if you listening, know it was great. I just, got to cake number 7 and
That was the one?
I was trying to hurry up and wash all that down so I could get to number 13, and turn in that list. But
That's a lot of cake.
number 7, you did your thing with that carrot cake.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself over there at that cook-off.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get the spinach on your plate.
Okay.
So these cherry tomatoes just give you another burst of flavor.
Yes.
Like and I love to do this with salmon as well. Okay. So if you all want to see, this is the chicken. The blackened chicken with the sauteed onion, mushroom, and red bell pepper. We have some sauteed spinach and sauteed cherry tomatoes. Okay? So let y'all tell me. Here you go.
Yes, let's eat.
There you go.
The chicken's so tender, you don't even need a knife.
A knife.
Look at this right here.
There you go.
Wait. You know it's good if you can cut it with a plastic fork. That's how you really put it to the test. Let me see the plastic fork.
Yeah. Oh, you're going for the test.
We want to see how tender it is. Come see this real quick. Chef DeeDee did it with this one. Look
And
at
it
this.
has
If
a
you
little
could cut
kick
it with
to
this,
it.
It does.
you know it's
That
right.
black and tender, black and seasoning.
Oh,
That's it.
Oh
Hey.
my gosh,
Oh.
he is cutting this with a plastic fork.
it's right. It's tender. You can't fake that. You
No.
can't fake that. You can't buy that. Well, you could buy it if you come
You
to one of
could
our
buy-
classes, though. Friday, Saturday
It is
night.
really good. I like the kick. I like the sweetness from the red bell peppers. And then that little juicy tomato burst, so it's a little bit of freshness. You get a little bit of everything.
So we did really good, even with our pauses for because of our videographer and getting it straight. But I want to thank you all for coming out and having kitchen talk with Chef DeeDee. I'm looking forward to my Cooking with the Twist life with you all. I'm very happy to have you. Thank you for being my first guest on Kitchen Talk with Chef DeeDee. And give them your social media handles for the food.
All right, social media. You can find me on Instagram at I am Chef Jeff. I am Chef with an S, Jeff. And you can find me on Facebook at Chef Jeff.
All right. With a website, anything like that?
Instagram, Facebook, you can find me.
All right.
Okay. Chef Janelle.
You can find me. My website is chefjanelle.com. Janelle is spelled Janel, like Chanel, but with a J. That is also my Instagram handle, Chef Janelle, and my Facebook is Chef Janelle Witt. That is my official fan page.
Okay, awesome. And of course, to find me on Instagram, I actually have 3 Instagram pages. Chef
You can find her.
Yes, you're not hidden anywhere.
Chef DeeDee Cooks, at Chef DeeDee Cooks, at Cooking with a Twist. And of course, you know, I am a caterer, so at delicious_southern_cuisine. Facebook is Chef DeeDee, DeeDee/Coleman, and of course, Cooking with a Twist. And we can be found, and you can register for a Cooking with a Twist cooking class at www.cookingwithatwisthouston.com or www.southerncookinggirlcreations.com. So I just want to thank you all for sharing this hour with us, and we look forward to you coming back and seeing some of our other guests that we have lined up for Kitchen Talk with Chef DeeDee. So have a good day. We're about to get ready for a vegan cooking class. And so we hope you join us next week, actually on Thursday. So every Thursday, 4 p.m., right here. Check our YouTube page for the edited version in a couple of days. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. See you all later.
Cheers.
My fork. Wait, that's okay.
Here you go. I got one.
Oh, got another one right here.